On today's show, we talk about keeping the business lean.
Keep it lean, keep it mean.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us for breakfast. Right, Tuesday morning.
No one could hear you over that loud t-shirt. Sorry, I've been waiting to say that for ages.
I'm only wearing this because it's kind of hiding out the sunburn. You know, so if I wore a white t-shirt, it would stand out too much, like this.
Are you taking a dig at my
Yeah, I am.
sunburn?
Yeah. Loud t-shirt, loud tan. Not so loud tan. Anyway, guys, we are going to talk about keeping it lean and keeping it mean.
Yeah. This goes back to conversations we had a couple of weeks back about keeping it focused on what your customers, or in our case, our viewers want to see. That was the first episode that we first came back with this series, that we want to give the audience what you actually want, not what we think that you want, because it turns out it's two completely different things.
Exactly. So we thought no better person to get on the show than a friend of ours from SoAmpli, Maz. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me. Thank you for having me.
It's been a year.
It has. Last time we interviewed was in the van.
Time goes so fast.
I've been
upgraded to the couch now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We said, right, we need more room. We're getting a studio.
I need more room.
we all need a bit more room. Yeah. So look, what's happened to you since we last spoke?
Well, we've had a bit of an up and a bit of down, but we're back up again.
Good.
So when we met, we were growing as a team, and the team was larger, which was great. But on the other hand, we had some challenges with our solution and the way we were offering. Now we are super lean, super mean, and we are responding and behaving and acting much better than what we did last year.
What do you mean by lean?
Lean means we are a smaller team, less than half than what we were last year, but we are a heck of a lot more efficient in regards to delivery, in regards to prospecting and working with our customers. We've automated quite a lot, where there's less pressure on human effort. So it's more on technology, but also we worked on our offering, which we found our sweet spot, which makes sense for us.
Yeah, just for people that haven't seen, and shame on you if you haven't. Last year's chat, just briefly, quick high level. SoAmpli, what is it?
We enable salespeople to be active on social media where everyone is. They need to engage. They need to show themselves as the expert that they are. Out of sight, out of mind. We automate that whole process, and we help them to generate leads on social media through engagement and conversation. All that effort, we take that away, that burden, and we automate that.
Let's go back to the keeping it lean, right? You had 10 staff at one stage, and now you've got 5. Did you have to let some people go? Did some people leave, or what way did that happen?
It was a combination, to be honest. I think
because it's never easy.
It's never easy, and unfortunately, we've done this a couple of times. I think the absolute most important thing that I've learned, and I know people say that, but it's easier said than done, is you gotta listen to your customers. You gotta listen to them and see what they're interested in, their behavior and their approach. And the team right now, Misha and Charlotte, amongst others, they're doing absolutely amazing, and we have a really close relationship with the customers. That has helped us to become better.
Okay. So you're helping salespeople, and through a lot of automation as well, automated tweets and Facebook posts around a subject matter. You said that in SoAmpli, you're using automation. What are you using? Because there's a lot of people out there that they could be, we don't like using the automated Facebook posts a lot of the time, but what are you using automation-wise to help in SoAmpli?
So, I mean, did you say why, or?
No, what are you using?
We are using our own platform. The best way for us to learn is use our own solution. That's how we generate leads. The top of customers like Rent-A-Kills and British Heart Foundations and whatnot. We wouldn't be with them unless it was for our own platform. So the way we use it, our own behavior, the way we test it and whatnot, in addition to the feedback, it helps us. But I think automation takes you to the point of taking away some of that manual work, but engagement, getting to know what's going on. Obviously, we do that, and we work with our customers for them to do that as well, so they visually can see what's happening and not just automate it. Fully automate.
I hate to bring up this quote, right? But I'm gonna bring it up anyway, right? So everyone's sorry, right? Going back to the whole Henry Ford thing.
Yes,
I beat him to it, right? So if Henry Ford had have asked people what they want, they'd have said faster horses.
Yeah.
So the saying says, no one ever proved that he genuinely said that, right?
Yeah.
How do you know what customers to listen to and what ones not to listen to?
Yeah, fair enough. I think first of all, if we had fully listened to people, we wouldn't have SoAmpli. Excuse me, because that would never been a product. Because people go, well, I'm doing it manually. Why do I do that? So that was the first effort. We knew there is something there. Second one is, that's a tough one because sometimes a customer wants design-wise or logo-wise or button-wise to be in certain places. But when there is commonality in between, and when you view stats or you see the masses are behaving in a certain way, we see it as a challenge to work towards it.
Would you communicate with a lot of them a lot of the time, or would you just kind of pick the top 10, top 100? What way do you do it?
We have tried where we look at top leaders, top people, and we have a leaderboard for salespeople within each company. We've certainly listened to that, but I think what we've learned is talk to as many different types of users, with the A/B testing. You have the champions, you have the one in the middle, and you have those that are not using it as much. We found in 3.5 years that we've been alive in this business that it's crucial to listen to everyone. Again, I'm repeating myself a little bit. The commonality between the different types of people is we're looking at it. Charlotte, for example, color codes, the features and the behavior. So we're looking at it. We can record the usage, and we can see where the eye goes and where they click and so on. So we pay a lot of attention to that. Where we have failed, or where we're close to fail absolutely miserably, is when we haven't done that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Every time I think I'm smart, I'm really not.
What's interesting is if there's people watching that have larger teams, right? Because obviously people watching that have 15, 20, 30, 40 staff, 300 staff up. And if they feel, it's probably quite difficult to lose some staff and try and get that bit more lean in case it has a negative business impact.
Yeah.
That would be a really hard decision. How what piece of advice would you give somebody who's like, I want to be a bit more lean and maybe I can let a few staff go, but that could be a risk? How would they know to make the big leap, I suppose?
I think the best lesson that I've had, and boy was it expensive one, never make an emotional decision. In a startup, we work so closely together. We spend so many hours together. We get to know each other. So you become professional friends or friends. You know a lot more than, say, you would work in a larger organization than 9 to 5:30, etc. Not saying that doesn't happen there, but I think keeping the focus on the objective of the company, it matters. And I think the ones who are around you, when you explain it to them in a transparent way, it's not a personal thing. It is a business thing. And ideally, and hopefully they understand. I've had some amazing team members. Some of them, unfortunately, have left me. Maggie would be one of them. People like that. She's in
Dublin now, isn't she?
She's in Dublin, indeed. And people like that are priceless. I think they understand the challenge, but they also know it's for the good of the company. So transparency is key.
See, I think it's also hard. Like, it's a good point you make there on it's not personal and keep it business, right? It's very hard for a startup not to make it personal, because a lot of the time, like you're a team of how many now? 5. How can it not be personal? It is difficult because like in big organizations, they might just get a letter or an email or something. You're all pulled into one room. It's real, right? You guys are all being let go. And there's nothing personal about that whatsoever. It's a business decision.
Absolutely.
But it can be tough for a startup.
It's very tough. And I think for me to sit here and say it's easy peasy, I would be lying. 2016, we had to let 80% of the team go. The product was not right. The offering was not right. I cried in the same room as people were crying. I think, that week, I love bourbon, Maker's Mark is my game, I don't know how many bottles I went through because it was tough. But having said that, you get up in the morning because nobody else pays your salary and you have a focus and you're responsible for other people. And also, I'm telling this to myself, and I'm hoping other people don't go through that situation. And if they do, you gotta keep your eye on what are you trying to achieve. It's hard, it's difficult, and your skin gets thicker.
Of course.
It's like those war movies. I've seen things, I've done stuff. Going through up and down, it makes you stronger. That's for sure. It's still tough because we're human beings, but. The success of SoAmpli is what matters.
So I suppose that the real moral of the story here is, before we finish up, is you know, try and make a business decision, no matter what size you are, you know, all of the time, because it can be very easy to make an emotional decision when someone's sitting across from you at a different desk that you're working with all the time, going, I can't really let them go, or I can't make this decision because of their personal life. I know they've got a husband or a wife with children and the whole lot. And as you said,
and you may have met them.
Met
husbands and
many
wives
times.
and boyfriends and things like that.
But if you don't make that decision, both of you might not be around.
Absolutely.
In a couple of months' time.
Worst decision is indecision. You know, or no decision. You have a good team, take care of them. Even if sometimes, unfortunately, you have to let go. But a great team is what makes it successful. Alone is challenging. But good people around you who care more about the vision and themselves, and you got to take care of them professionally and engage with them, because that's what they make the company successful. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Just one last point before we go. What is it like explaining to investors that you're going to reduce the size of the team to make it more? How easy is it to explain that vision to investors who want to see growth, who want to obviously see a big return on their investment? What's that like?
They're probably delighted because half their money's been saved.
Big time.
Yeah, I think that's fair, but I think also they would say, what can you deliver within the team that you have? So we have to explain it to them in a way that it makes sense, obviously, and why we have done that. So we've automated, we're looking at efficiency, we're looking at margin, and they can see, if they can see those numbers and they can see the reasoning behind it, then it's a easier thing to do, rather than just spending the money for the sake of it, you know.
So keep it lean, keep it mean,
absolutely,
as long as you can, and always think of the business, try not to make it an emotional thing.
There's absolutely, there's gold every time you come on, Maz, so thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks so much for coming in. Let's not leave it a year until the next catch up.
Thank you.
Guys, hope you enjoyed that show. Maz is a legend, as you all know, after watching that interview. We're back 8:30 a.m. midweek home tomorrow.
Midweek home tomorrow. What are we going to talk about? Are we going to rant, or are we actually talk about something that genuinely you guys want to hear? Who knows?
Who knows, guys? Tune in 8:30 a.m. See you then. Bye-bye.
Take care, guys.